You ever walk past a house and just know that whatever's going on inside, that ain't love? Well, Heather Sheppard's family knew it. They didn't hear screams. They smelled them. Right there, on a regular porch in Jacksonville, Florida, under a blue tarp and behind a fake smile, was the body of a woman left to rot by her girlfriend. Yeah, Shannon McCarthy, and the murder she tried to Febreze her way out of. Heather Sheppard was a mom, a partner, just a woman trying to live her life. She was in her 40s, with a family and friends who loved her dearly. She was the kind of person who worked hard and just wanted a peaceful life for herself. But her life was far from peaceful, especially since she had met Shannon McCarthy. Shannon McCarthy was a different kind of woman. She was 46, with a history of violence and a volatile temper. She wasn't just a partner, she was a storm. Their relationship wasn't just rocky, it was a landslide. It was a cycle of love, control, and fear. Friends and family had seen the red flags, the arguments, the bruises that Heather tried to explain away. McCarthy had already been arrested for abusing Heather. She was already out on bond for domestic violence. And still, they stayed together. Because sometimes the most dangerous place to be is in love with the wrong person. The system had tried to step in and separate them, but the bond of a toxic relationship is hard to break. The restraining orders, the court appearances, they were just pieces of paper. They didn't protect Heather from the person she was living with. Spoiler alert, this ends exactly how you think it does. On an unspecified date leading up to the discovery on July 5th, 2023, the sound of gunshots pierced the night. Neighbors heard multiple shots, not just one pop, but several, and as usual, nobody called. In America, gunshots are just part of the ambiance. People hear them, lock their doors, and pretend they heard nothing at all. 2 nights of bang-bang, and Heather, she went quiet. No texts, no calls, no Facebook arguments, nothing. Her silence was a scream that only her loved ones could hear. By July 3rd, her daughter had had enough. Something felt terribly wrong. She drove to her mom's house with a friend, her stomach a tight knot of dread. Shannon opened the door and lied. She put on a fake smile and said Heather left. But something in her eyes, in her demeanor, didn't match her words. She was too calm, too cool, too collected. The daughter's unease grew. She knew her mom wouldn't just leave without a word. The next day, July 4th, McCarthy let the daughter come back. She returned some of Heather's stuff, a small bag of clothes, a few personal items, but she wouldn't let her step on the porch. The daughter thought it was odd, but respected the boundary. Little did she know the horrifying reason for it. Want to know why? Because under that porch was Heather's decomposing body, just chillin'. The smell was unbearable, not suspicious, not weird, unbearable. It was the smell of decay, of death, of a life stolen. It was a smell that hit you in the back of your throat and made your eyes water. But McCarthy just stood there, watching, breathing it in, pretending she didn't know, like it was a bad trash day, not a crime scene. America, where we hide our skeletons under tarps instead of in closets. July 5th, 2023. The sheriff's office finally showed up. They had been called by family members who were growing more and more concerned. When they approached the house, the smell was the first thing they noticed. It was a silent witness, a scream that couldn't be ignored. They lifted the tarp. Boom, there's Heather. Dead, decomposing, just steps away from the front door. It's not even metaphorical. McCarthy literally sat inside for days, while Heather's corpse rotted next to her ferns. She slept in the house. She ate in the house. She went about her daily life, with the body of the woman she had supposedly loved lying in plain sight. They found weapons inside the home. They found threatening texts McCarthy had sent to Heather in the days before the murder, messages filled with rage and a terrifying sense of possessiveness. And they found bullets that match McCarthy's gun. That's not just evidence. That's a signed confession, with ballistics. When they confronted her, McCarthy folded, admits to hiding the body, admits to the murder, admits to threatening Heather days before. She really thought a tarp and some bleach wipes would erase a homicide. But it wasn't just a murder. It was control. It was the final act in a long, terrifying pattern of abuse. And Heather, she never got the chance to escape. Fast forward to July 31st, 2025. McCarthy pleads guilty to second-degree murder. Judge Meredith Charbula gives her 30 years in Florida State Prison. No trial, no drama, just straight to sentencing. 30 years. Heather's daughter got a lifetime sentence of grief. McCarthy got a calendar. Here's the part that hurts the most. This could have been stopped. McCarthy was already out on bond for domestic violence. She had already hurt Heather. And the system let her walk right back into that house. Let her load a gun. Let her pull the trigger. So if you're watching this and you're in something toxic, it doesn't have to escalate to this. There are red flags for a reason, and sometimes a tarp is all it takes to hide a tragedy. Heather Sheppard didn't die in a car accident. She didn't overdose. She was murdered by the person she trusted. She's not a statistic. She's not clickbait. She's a daughter, a mother, a real human being. And if her story reaches one person, helps one person leave, then maybe this pain can mean something. Because silence protects the abuser, but stories, they protect the next victim. Rest in peace, Heather. We told your story, and we won't let them forget it.